Hi, in this video we'll be seeing a few advanced questions on ratio and proportion. So let's begin right away. Okay, the question goes like, let's say if there is a fraction, let's name it p by q. There's a fraction p by q, and you are given that you added one to both the numerator and to the denominator. So once you added 1 to both the numerator and the denominator, the fraction became r by s. P by q added 1 both to the numerator and denominator, the fraction became r by s. Again you added 1 to the numerator and the denominator, and this time the fraction it became 1 by 2. This time the fraction has become 1 by 2. The question here is, you have to find the fraction, you have to find the addition, you have to find the value of p plus q. You have to find what is the value of p plus q. Pretty straightforward. And let's say I'm giving you the options as well. Option 1 is, let's say 2, the value of p plus q is 2, then it's 3, then it's 4, next option is 5, and last option, let's assume it's none of these. We do not have a value from these numbers. Okay, you can pause the video here and come back later for the answer. Alright, let's see the answer now. Okay, so we are given that 1 by 2, it is 1 by 2, the answer became 1 by 2. P by q added 1 both to the numerator and denominator, became r by s. R by s again added 1 both to the numerator and denominator, it became 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, it is a fraction. It could be 1 by 2. We can arrive at 1 by 2 in many ways. For example, 1 by 2 could be 2 by 4. The answer could have been 2 by 4, but it is still 1 by 2. 3 by 6, it is still 1 by 2. It could be 4 by 8, it is still 1 by 2. 5 by 10, 6 by 12, and so on. These all fractions, when they are simplified, they become 1 by 2. So we are not sure of which fraction, this one, which fraction was which fraction which eventually became 1 by 2. We are not sure about that. Okay, so let's take the highest fraction first. For example, let's say the fraction was 6 by 12. The final fraction was 6 by 12. So what could possibly be the previous fraction, which is r by s. R by s could be, we can straight away subtract 1 from both the numerator and denominator, so we can arrive at r by s as 5 by 11. So if the final fraction is 6 by 12, the r by s could be, the r by s must have been 5 by 11. We can arrive at p by q as well. If r by s was 5 by 11, subtracting 1 and 1 from both from numerator and denominator, we get r by s as 4 by 10. So it gives us the value of p and q, which is 4 and 10 respectively. So the value of p plus q in this case is 4 plus 10 is 14. Alright, let's find out the values, the rest of the values as well in these fractions, these all fractions. Let's say if it was 5 by 10, subtracting 1 from both numerator and denominator, it becomes 4 by 9. Again, subtracting, it becomes 3 by 8. So the value p plus q is 11. If it was 4 by 8, r by s must have been 3 by 7, and p by q must have been 2 by 6. So the value is 8. If it was, let's say, 3 by 6, it must have been 2 by 5, and the p by q must have been 1 by 4. So the value p plus q becomes 5, and two more values to go. If it was 2 by 4, r by s becomes 1 by 3. Now we see p by q becomes 0 by 2. 0 by anything, it's 0, and the value of p plus q becomes 2. But we see 0 upon anything is 0. So when we were given p by q it's 0, we're not sure, okay, if we have to take this value or no. 0 can be had in many ways. We can have 0 in many ways. If we were given p by q as 0, we were not sure if it was 0 by 2, or if it was 0 by 7, or let's say if it was 0 by 99, we were not sure. So we have to discard this value 0 by 2, because we were given the fraction was p by q was 0, and we just assumed it to be 0 by 2. So we have to discard this value. Therefore, not acceptable. We can have zeros in many ways. When we were given, I repeat again, when we were given p by q as 0, we were not sure if it was 0 by 2 or 0 by anything else. Okay, next value 1 by 2, it becomes 0 by 1 here only. So, and subtracting 1 again, minus 1 by 0. Division by 0 not possible, so again it's not acceptable. So finally we get all the values that we've got of p plus q. So I'm jotting all those values down. P plus q, the various values that we got were 14, 11, 8, 5, and 5 was the only option which we could see in the options. So 5 is your answer. And had there been options, it could have been a multiple choice question as well, with values 14 as well, permissible value is 11 as well. But in this particular question, 5 is the only possible value. All right, moving on to the next question. Let's say it's like a kind of a brain teaser, not much of a question. Like I would say, like, it qualifies as a question of English, not a question of maths. If 10 persons can clean 10 floors by 10 mops in 10 days, you have to tell, then in how many days can 8 persons can clean 8 floors by 8 mops. That's it, pretty straightforward again. 10 persons cleaning 10 floors by 10 mops in 10 days. In how many days 8 persons can clean 8 floors by 8 mops. Again, you can pause the video here and come back later for the answer. Meanwhile, let's proceed to the answer. In this question, we have to see what is the total amount of work. What is total amount of work? You need not get baffled by the language of the question. You just need to focus on the amount of work that needs to be done. Here in this question, we are given that total work is done by 10 men and working for 10 days. So total work is 10 men into 10 days is 100 man days. Let's call the unit as man days. It is 100 man days. And this much work, 100 man day work, is to be done for how many floors? Is to be done for 10 floors. 100 man days for 10 floors. So it gives us that the work required for one floor, for mopping one floor, it is equal to 10 man days. So for 8 floors, it will be 80 man days. And this much work, 80 man days work, to be done by 8 men, in, let's say, x days. So we arrive at x as 10 days. So these many men will require 10 days to mop the floors. That's it. So this is your final answer, 10 days. Okay, proceeding on to the next question. It's a kind of a straightforward one, like, but this is like one of the most frequent, most often seen question on the exam. Let's say there are two numbers in ratio 3:4, and you're given the LCM as well. The LCM is 180. Let's say you have to find the numbers. What are these numbers? Okay, moving on to the answer. Let's assume that these numbers were, first number, let's assume it to be 3x, and the next number will obviously then become 4x. And finding, there are like multiple ways of solving it. I'm just like going by one of the ways. LCM of 3x and 4x is, LCM of 3 and 4 is 12, and LCM of x and x is x. So the LCM of 3x and 4x is 12x. We are given this LCM to be equal to 180. So therefore we can find the value of x. It comes out to be 180 by 12, which is 15. Alright, plugging in the values, we get the first number as 3 into x, 3 into 15 is 45. Next is 4 into 15 is 60. This is it. The numbers are 45 into 45 and 60. Okay, next question. It's a good one. Okay, there's a container and it has, let's say it is full of milk, pure milk. Let's say the quantity of milk in the container is, let's say, 100 liters. To keep the question simple, I just want to convey the concept here. The container has milk, 100 liter, and you took out 10 liters of the milk and you replaced the quantity with water. 10 liters of water you put back in the container. Then again, now it's kind of a mixture of milk and water. Again, you took out 10 liters, but this time when you'll take out 10 liters, the mixture will come out. You took out 10 liters again and you replaced it. You replaced the mixture again by 10 liters of water. So this, let's say this thing is repeated. Let's assume 5 times. This thing is repeated 5 times. You have to find the ratio of milk to water now, after the process has been done 5 times. Okay, you can proceed to the answer as well. Let's proceed to the answer. Okay, and like there are many ways to solve these kind of questions. I'm just giving you again one of the possible options. Let's assume initially, we do not have to assume anything. Initially we are given that milk and water, they were 100 and 0. Milk was 100 liters and water was 0. After the first iteration, you just have to find the value of the you just have to find the value of the ratio after the first iteration. After the first iteration, milk is 90 and it is replaced by water, it is 10. So the ratio is 90 is to 10 is 9 is to 1. That's it. And the total of 9 and 1 is 10. If every time you will be required to find the next ratio, you just have to raise the powers. So how do we raise the power? Let's see. In the second iteration, the value of milk will become 9 square, and which is 81, and total quantity will become 10 square, which is 100. So the remaining thing is water only. If total quantity is 100 and 81 out of it is milk, so the water comes out to be 19. This is how we'll proceed. We'll find out the quantity of milk, we'll find out the total quantity, and then the remaining would be water. Okay, so the ratio becomes 81 is to 19. Next time, after the third process, the milk will be 9 cube, which is 729, and total quantity will be 10 cube, which is 1000. So the remaining quantity would be water, which is 261. Fourth time will be 9 is to power 4 is 6561, and 10 is to power 4 is 10,000. Remaining quantity would be water, which is 3439, and we have to find it after the fifth iteration. The milk would be 9 is to power 5, which comes out to be 59049, and 10 is to power 5 is 100,000. So the remaining quantity of water is 40951. So the ratio after 5 iterations is 59049 is to 40951. This is the exact answer. Ratio of milk is to water after 5 iterations. Let's do another example before we wind up this lecture. Let's say again, like a similar question. Milk, you were given this time to be 80 liters, 20 liters of it replaced by water, and then let's say we repeat this process 4 times. Similar question to the previous one, just to make sure that you understood the concept. Milk is to, and you have to find the ratio of milk is to water after you've iterated it for 4 times. Initial quantity milk and water was 80 to 0. After one iteration it became 60 to 20. So the ratio is 3 is to 1. Total adds up to 4. And now we have to find after 4 iterations. So we'll just simply raise the power. 3 raised to power 4, and total would be 4 raised to power 4. 3 raised to power 4 is 81, and 4 raised to power 4 is 256. Remaining would be water, which comes out to be 175. So the ratio is 81 is to 175. That's it. So that's it pretty much. And keep enjoying the CP classes. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.